The biggest headlines, the voices, the moments driving SFR BTR forward. Give us less than 10 minutes. We'll take you inside SFR BTR, your new weekly must-have habit. Wrap up your week inside SFR BTR. New episodes drop every Friday on Everezi Media and wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Inside SFR BTR for Friday, January 30th, 2026. I'm Gregory Frank along with Ryan Saturday. This week's show is sponsored by HouseMax Funding. Coming up, Winter Storm Fern tested the SFR BTR industry. As outages and disruptions spread, professional rental operations prove why preparedness and scale matter. Joining us is Deanna Alfredo of Genstone Field Services, who's still in the thick of it. On Inside the Vendor Network, Brittany Morales of Property Masters shares how discipline, craft, and family values shape real field leadership, from trades to executing the Green Diamond Service. On SFR She-Suite, Mendy Seegar, Tonya O'Dell sit down with real estate attorney Monica Gilroy to unpack what President Trump's executive order means for property management, legal risk, and the standards shaping the future of rental housing. We've got a great show for you this final Friday of January. Let's get started. Welcome back. Winter Storm Fern just swept across the majority of the country, bringing ice, snow, power outages. But right now, joining me live from northern Michigan is Deanna Alfredo, who leads Genstone Field Services. First of all, thanks for being here. Thanks for literally being out in the element. I feel like Al Roker is going to walk up to you next. You managed the entire response for Genstone from northern Michigan in the middle of the storm.
Correct. Yes, I did. And we didn't start when the storm was starting. Our clients were reaching out the week before. What are we going to do to prepare? We do that routinely with Bacon Properties, our preservation team. This is what we've been doing for 25 years.
As we pick this back up, as weather volatility becomes the norm, what should operators and field services teams be doing now to prepare for the next one, not after it hits?
Definitely. To your point, whether it's heat in the summer in Texas or ice storms in the south that we're not used to, it's having a playbook. My best practice would be for all the investors or even my competitors, right? Take down notes. What were you successful with? What did you struggle with? Meet as a team and create that disaster playbook. How are you going to mobilize quicker?
So as we focus on resident experience, right, one thing I know that you are certainly very passionate about, what's one thing that really stands out during events like this? How different the resident experience is in SFR BTR compared to home ownership?
Right. That's definitely, me. I'm always on LinkedIn talking about the resident experience. And people are like, well, you're a national provider. How can that be? Well, my whole team is in tune with that philosophy. We're passionate. Many of them are renters. So think about this. We're the advocate on behalf of the residents. We talk a lot about best in class and we talk about wins, but I love the struggle. I like the feedback of when something goes wrong. How do we train? How do we level set and get better?
When I first got in, I was the runt. All crappy jobs I got to handle. I spent many of hours mixing concrete. So I have a big respect for the people out there who's just doing the hard labor job.
Today, our guest is Brittany Morales. Brittany is a U.S. Army veteran with 9 years of service, previously owned her own remodeling business. Today, she serves as a project manager at Property Masters.
Don't expect just because you're done that he can read your mind and know that you're done. Communication is key in this field. One day I was going to work and I want to start my own business. I had $500 and a best friend. I called my best friend. I said, would you quit and come work for me? And he's like, heck yeah, I'll do it. So he quit his job.
I think there's kind of two ways to look at it. For the seasoned investor, there is the information that they need, which they've already experienced, to make the best decision that benefits them. For the new investor, there may be some things that they haven't seen yet, and so we're offering more of a learning opportunity for them to decide if the lowest down payment or the max leverage or the lowest rate is the direction they want to go. There's some other lenders who will kind of just provide them a quote and they kind of blindly go. Here, they're able to see which path makes the most sense and then use that as a learning experience to go forward.
So glad you're here. And I wanted to kind of open up and really get into some key topics. And the one that definitely is at the top of everybody's mind is we really want for you to shed some light on and get your unique perspective on the executive order that Trump has been speaking about. Wanted to get really as much information as we can about all the different aspects and things that you see that this is going to affect, and talk more about what's consistent, what's not consistent. I'm just really interested in your perspective.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I think it's important to remember that, this all sort of started, this idea of, quote unquote, Wall Street buying houses as a result of the terrible Great Depression.
And it's the stepping stone to, what we were, I know Mendy and I've talked about this before with our beloved Gregory Frank, the founder of Everresi. One of the big goals of Everresi is to create standards, across the board, across whether it's institutional, builder, or third-party management, across all of SFR. And I think the timing of this is really imperative for that. One definition, although it's a very, very important definition, it just signals every other industry has standards, but we need them here. And I think that'll really sort of catapult that effort to, okay, let's all the decision makers within this industry, we've got to get together and, kind of carve out what those standards are and what good looks like and what great looks like and what needs a little work looks like,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that we're all dealing with the same language.
Absolutely. So one of the biggest lessons I learned during that time was decisiveness. And I cannot stress enough for women in business, not just women entrepreneurs, but women in business and women in this industry. You cannot be afraid to make a decision. You cannot hand wring. You have to make your decision and own it. And if you later need to justify it to your employer, your client, your partner, be ready to do that. But we have good gut instincts. Women as a gender have excellent second senses, right? You know when something's going to happen. You can see the thing's going to fall off the counter and hit your child. You have to go with your gut. And decisiveness is not a ugly or bad thing for women. It's actually very empowering, but it is critically important.
The biggest headlines, the voices, the moments driving SFR BTR forward. Give us less than 10 minutes. We'll take you inside SFR BTR, your new weekly must-have habit. Wrap up your week inside SFR BTR. New episodes drop every Friday on Everresi Media and wherever you get your podcasts.